You're listening to Edge Radio TV. The views and opinions expressed in this program are that of the host or guests, and not the Edge Radio Network or its advertisers or affiliates.
Hey guys, welcome to Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen on Edge Radio TV. I am Jennifer Reeves.
I'm Hendrik Scott, and we're here to entertain you today, educate you a little bit on some sexual health topics.
Indeed, we are both certified sex therapists in the Houston area, so we know a lot. We don't know everything, but we know a lot. Before we dive into our main content, we wanted to talk about what's in the news today. And so, I don't think unless you've been living under a bridge, which is a possibility.
You'd probably still know.
Still know. The mask mandate is being lifted. Yeah. Repealed by, it was officially by Abbott. Today is the first day that takes place. So we were wondering, will this being gone make dating or hooking up easier, or do we think we're going to see bumps in numbers? Because we've seen COVID has definitely hit I love it. I still love it. It's creepy, but I love it. COVID definitely has decreased the number of hookups that have been going on.
Yeah.
So we have definitely seen that trend. So are we going to see it start trending upwards? What do you think?
I think so. I don't know, but I'm also torn because I know that the numbers say that they're down, but also like people that I know or that I've seen like as clients, they've still been dating.
Yeah.
With more caution or choosing, to talk more and understand more about, their view on COVID and like maybe getting tested before. But people are still dating.
People are still dating. People are still hooking up.
Definitely hooking up. Yeah.
I do know that, but
I see. Where I think it's going to hit more is our lovely swinger community because they've been waiting.
Yeah, we've talked about that before on this show. Like the swingers are ready to play. Yeah. They are not single, but they are ready to mingle.
Yeah, it affects, of course, like poly and just open relationships in general. Just they're going to be a little closer and tight knit, whereas our swinger community is more.
Yeah.
Hook up. Generally speaking, don't come for me. So you're not necessarily going to spend all of the time that like an open relationship poly situation would.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be like, we're ready.
Yeah. I don't know though. I think that as far as the mask mandate being lifted, what that will actually do, I don't think that that's going to have as much of a direct result because I think there might be a couple of percentage points going up, but not a whole lot, because I think the people that are cautious are going to stay cautious. The people that want to wear masks are going to continue to wear masks, continue to not go out, and those that have been wanting to go out are going to continue to go out and to hook up. So I don't think we're going to see a big number increase because of that. But the vaccine is out. It's been out for a while, and more people are getting vaccinated. And I think that it's going to look like it's correlated to the mask mandate being lifted, but I think it's going to be correlated to everything. I think it's being correlated to we're sick and tired of being quarantined. We're sick and tired of wearing masks, but again, I think those that I'm going to continue to wear my mask. I'll be perfectly honest. Like I want to stay protected, and I want to make sure that I'm protecting other people in case I ever do have it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think as people get inoculated, that's what we're going to see when more people feel safer to really, really start diving in.
Yeah. But I think there will be, because whether we want to admit it or not, it's just a psychological fact. Peer pressure is a thing. So I feel like that will play a little bit more of a role, because now you're forced to, before you could kind of conceal whether you were a masker or a non-masker, which is a very political statement.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Which is sort of ridiculous. It's like just, So I feel like it will kind of put people in situations, and I don't want to like devalue the like peer pressure, but it's real, and we do adhere to it.
It is true. I mean, the other thing to keep in mind is just because Abbott's repealed it, obviously if you're going to the post office or a federal building, federal law still mandates you wear a mask in there, so that's going to trump anything that Abbott has done.
Yeah.
And the city, Mayor Turner still wants to have a mask mandate in place, so Harris County and Houston still might have mask mandate that will get put back in place for those areas, and it'll just maybe be the outlying places like Montgomery County, maybe even Fort Bend County or something like that, where they might not put it back into place. And then of course businesses themselves, they get to choose whether or not they require a mask when you come in or not. So I mean, it's not saying that we're just all of a sudden completely mask free either.
True. You know what I super appreciate about, there's one upside. Something that was a little more dated, that was a sexual act, was brought back during COVID.
Oh yeah.
And that was the glory hole.
Okay, I don't know about. Yes, I know what a glory hole is. That's not what I'm about to say. But like, where really?
So it has been in articles. It was like ways to have safe sex during COVID, and glory hole was continuously put on like all of these articles. And my feed's also a big gay feed. I mean,
so, obviously. Maybe that's not obvious to you, the viewer.
Obvious. Yeah, it's good.
Obvious. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if they've done studies. I haven't looked this up, and as a sex therapist, I probably should have, and I feel a little bit silly in having not done it. But can you contract COVID through sperm, or semen, or ejaculates, or even like from like a female ejaculate?
We need to look this up.
Have you looked it up?
No.
That's silly of us.
Well, I mean, it's not anyway.
I mean, well, okay. I mean, because it's contracted through like you coughing it out and whatnot, but so I don't think it's not bloodborne.
Okay, so maybe we'll go look it up and then link it below in an article that says
so I don't know, are glory holes really all that safe then? Or I mean, you can wear a condom, obviously. I mean, maybe you should
be wearing a condom. Wear a condom regardless.
Or you stick your dick through a hole.
Yeah.
Dude, all of a sudden, dick in a box just popped in my head. I'm sorry when you think about that.
Oh man, I have a dick in a box Halloween story. It was a big costume that year. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I tell my boyfriend for Christmas I really want him to put his dick in a box for me because I think it'd be hilarious.
It is hilarious. Okay. I gotta tell you,
I don't want it from anybody I don't know. So don't come stalk me and then all of a sudden be like, "Hey, you want to open my box?" I'm gonna tell you no.
No. No. Good. No.
Because you are not my partner, and nobody wants to see your pee-pee. It's still there, Hendrix. It's still there from our very first episode. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch our first episode.
TM.
It's amazing. So anything else about the mask mandate and how we think that may or may not affect dating and hooking up?
I don't know. I really don't. I still think it's going to still be like a political situation. And sorry, I kept doing this I'm stressed, so I think I tend to like, don't bang on the table, Hendrix.
Well, you can bang on the table, but not on the show.
I like it. Yeah.
You're welcome.
There you go. That's good. That's good. I like it.
Thanks.
A+.
Yay! I did it. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, but no, I don't know with the mask. We'll see.
We'll see. I think we're gonna start seeing it trend upwards again anyway. Whether or not that's, again, like I said, whether or not it's because the mask mandate's being lifted or if it's just everything in conjunction. I mean, an article I read the other day is projected that we're gonna have a pretty decent summer. Fall is gonna have an upwards tick in coronavirus again, and then supposedly next spring, when more and more people have gotten vaccinated, is what they're saying, we'll finally start to see things return more normal. Fingers crossed. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so our main topic today, we're going to be talking about orgasms and mainly faking it.
Yeah.
When do you fake it? When do you not fake it? Who's faking it? Dun, dun, dun.
How common is it?
How common is it? All of that stuff. So I think it's going to be fun. In one of the segments, Hendrix and I are going to try and guess if there's an orgasm that is fake or not, is fake or real. So that's going to be super exciting. So we hope you play along with us when that segment comes up.
My gosh, you're right. They can play along with this.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I know. I really want y'all to like comment as we're going through it. Like, I want to know.
Fake.
And number it. You know, when you're doing it, like number 1, period,
Yeah.
fake. Number, or number 2. We don't know the order that our producer set it up for us. So like, he knows everything. So we're going to be just as surprised as you are. I'm so excited. So we're going to be talking about that more when we come back. So stay tuned, and we'll be talking about the big O. Oh.
Aren't you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Edge Radio TV is holding auditions for new show hosts. Are you a subject matter expert, professional, influencer, book author, thought leader, or business owner with an educational or motivational platform? Then we want to meet you. Send a link of some of your work to edgeradio20@gmail.com and be sure to put audition in the subject line. Join the Edge Radio TV family. Edge TV, because truth still matters.
Hey guys, this is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Hendrik Scott.
And I am Jennifer Reeves on Edge Radio Network TV.
Yeah. Today we're here to talk. Oh, which, by the way, our graphics, did anyone notice? Look how cool they are. We love our producer, by the way. Just want to give him a shout out. Look how cool he makes us look. I'm so excited. Anyway.
Because I'm definitely not that tech savvy. I can't do that stuff.
No.
No.
I'm savvy in other ways, which is why I'm
Yes,
up
you
here.
are. She does all of our social media. So if you're ever online and see our social media,
Oh.
like, that's all Hendrix, because I'm old and don't know how to do shit.
I don't know how to do shit. Anyway, today we're going to talk to you about orgasms, specifically fake orgasms.
Specifically fake orgasms.
Who's faking them?
Who's
How
faking
often is it
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah. Fairly frequently. But before we dive into that, because it kind of coexists with it, we want to talk about our book of the month.
Right.
We didn't have one for February because of all of the stuff, but we are going to try and keep that as part of our thing. So our
storm.
book of the month,
The storm that
yes.
no one wanted.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Mhm.
So our book of the month is called Come As You Are by Emily Nagoski. I'll be honest, this is totally geared for women, which is great because Women's International Day was just a couple days ago, so why not talk more about women anyway?
Yep.
With that, but it's a guide to help women tap into their sexuality a lot more.
Goes into the science behind
Yes.
why how the brain works.
About how
Yeah.
the brain works, why some things turn us on and some things don't.
Yeah.
How to tap into those things that turn us on. She talks about the different stages of desire and arousal. She talks about orgasms as well, which is why we thought it'd be a good fit. So one of the things that other people have said about it.
So one of the things to note is, which I
Yeah.
liked, I thought sometimes reviews are good. right? Like sometimes reviews kind
Yeah.
of save you and you're like, oh man, thanks. Other times you're like, what is wrong with you? Okay.
Yeah.
But this
Sure.
said, if you are confident and happy in your sexuality and looking for new ideas or dealing with complex medical issues, this is not your book.
Correct.
This is for a book for kind of feeling lost, maybe
Yeah.
some self-esteem.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
yeah, some education, like
Yeah.
sex education.
Yeah, which I think is totally important. I think that same review, the only thing they said about the book itself was that they wish that it had a component to help you do a little bit more exercise with that. So guess what, you guys? That people asked, and Emily Nagoski responded, and she actually has a workbook that you can get with it.
Lovely.
I actually really like the workbook. I do sometimes recommend some of these different exercises for the women that come in
Yeah.
to my office. Yeah. So this goes along with it. I would say, while you could probably get the workbook by itself, I would recommend getting the book and doing the workbook with it. There's not as much information in the workbook. So all of the information, all of this neurological stuff behind it, which I find fascinating. I think
Yeah.
it's really important to understand all of the physiological stuff with your body. That's all going to be in the original book of Come As You Are.
Yeah, it can also help you tap into how you feel about sex. Like get into the
Yes.
nitty gritty.
Yes.
What is blocking you from
Yeah.
being able to engage in
Yeah.
in your own sexuality?
Yeah. And so she also does go over some of the stats on orgasms and everything like that. So we can definitely move into that. So some fun stats.
Some stats on orgasms.
So we're going to start with stats on from women, So how we get off. About 25% of women consistently are orgasmic during vaginal intercourse, no matter the size, how long it lasts, or how she feels about her partner or the relationship. Some of the other things, 70% of women, I can't read that from here. Let me pull it up on my phone. Of women need direct clitoral stimulation to orgasm. 43% of women are most likely to orgasm when they're on top during sex. And this, again, has to do with clitoral stimulation during that. This stat, I love this stat. 94% of women who had anal sex in their last encounter reached orgasm. I love talking about anal sex. We will have an episode about anal sex.
For sure. Yeah.
But that is fascinating. Ladies, if you haven't tried anal sex, it takes a little bit of getting used to it, but try it. And now all the men that are watching are like, hey, honey, Jen and Hen told me to do you in the butt.
No, we did not.
No, we did not.
We told your lady to consensually ask you to do her in the butt.
And there's a process. Don't just shove it in. We'll stay tuned.
We'll
for
have a whole
one. We will
butt sex episode.
butt sex.
It's gonna be beautiful.
In the butt. What? In the butt. I said, what? Okay, back to orgasm. So, 94% of women report having an orgasm last time they had anal sex. About half of women sometimes have an orgasm during intercourse. And this is specifically penile to vaginal intercourse, by the way.
Yeah.
We do want to be specific about that. The numbers definitely are different for oral sex and for clitoral stimulation sex, because that's still sex, guys. And then 20% seldom have them during intercourse. Here's the fun number. Whatever. 10 to 40% of women report having difficulty or an inability to reach orgasm, and about 10% of women report never having an orgasm, even through clitoral stimulation. So I gotta go on that one for just a second, because we had Lainey here last week.
Yeah.
Right. And she was a big you can't screw the asexual out of somebody.
Absolutely.
Guess what, people, you can't screw the orgasm into somebody either. So I have so many friends and so many clients, and they've had different partners that have been like, I'll be the one with my magic trick dick to give you the orgasm, or you've just never been with me and that's why you haven't had it. Guess what? You cannot give her an orgasm. It's not something that you give. It's something that she gives herself, and you give yourself when you have an orgasm.
And also, if you can't masturbate and know your own body, it's going to be way more difficult for someone to step in and think that all of a sudden they're going to know your body better than you do.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did it again.
Did you tap? So yeah, so guys, like, and other women too, like, if you have a partner that she's not orgasmic, stop trying so hard to quote unquote give her the orgasm. She's gonna have to learn her own body, and 10% of women just, they won't, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that sex can't be fun or pleasurable still. Like, that's,
feeling pressured is just gonna make it worse.
Nah, it'll make it so much worse. And then, as stated before, the most common type of orgasm comes from clitoral stimulation. So, interestingly, about 75% of men usually to always reach orgasm during sex. And again, this is a number taken from heterosexual penile to vaginal sex. I just want to be clear on that.
I think that number is lower than heterosexual men realize. Like, I think if we were on the street and we were like, how many men do you think orgasm every time during sex? It'd be like, oh, like 90%, 95%.
Yes.
Yeah. And 75 like isn't like a huge number.
Yeah. And that's usually to always during sex. That doesn't mean that person has orgasm every single time they have sex either. Like, that is that includes men that have never had an orgasm. That also includes men that have orgasms once in a while or just usually, but not necessarily always. So interesting numbers for other things for men are 1 in 3 men will struggle with erectile difficulties at some point in their lifetime.
I'm wondering where we go wrong. I mean, I know we go wrong in sex education just in general. Okay, so it's there. Never mind, my question is no. Just how many men are shocked by it? Because I get most of the men, you get most of the women, and they're just always like, I just never thought it would happen to me, or I have no idea what's going on. And I'm like, dude, this is so common. It is so common, and it's not a big deal.
Right.
Like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And they're just shocked by it.
You know what? Along that same term, like, I hate the terminology erectile dysfunction.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah.
It's not a dysfunction. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is people think like, oh my God, I have erectile dysfunction. Dude, you're having erectile difficulties. You may have that all your life. It may just be for a short stint in your life. It just depends on what's causing it. But like, the problem with male sexuality, that's a weird way to put it, but I already said it, so it's out the bag. The problem with male sexuality is that there is no such thing as just like a medical issue, because it is such a hyped up thing. And we don't talk about it enough, but I would say the same thing for women's sexuality.
Absolutely.
Like, we think there's something wrong with us if we're not doing something that people think is normal, or whatever the case may be. I'll
just be like, oh, what, you mean your body couldn't perform the exact moment you wanted it to perform? Like, what a weird expectation for our bodies.
Right?
Like,
yeah. So
or
crazy.
I'll be like, are you I mean, like, if a woman stopped in the middle of sex and said, oh, I'm just not feeling it, would you make her keep having sex? I have gotten weird answers for that. But
that's why
for the majority, they'll be like, well, no, of course. Like, she doesn't have to.
Right.
And I'm like, well, then why don't you give yourself the same grace?
Yeah.
Like, why does.
Right.
What is it about you being a male that has to pound your chest and, hee-haw all over the place about it?
Hee-haw. Hee-haw and are 2 different things.
It's where my brain went.
Okay.
Where my brain went.
All right. Some more fun stuff to quickly get through. 1.4. 1 to 4% of men report delayed ejaculatory response. So this is the struggle to ejaculate, to have an orgasm. It takes a long time to reach orgasm for these men. A lot of people guess that that's probably higher. And a lot of times men will train their bodies to have a delayed ejaculatory response because they think that's what their partner wants. And guys,
it's not always the case.
No, some women, some partners, even some men, depending on if you're queer or heterosexual, like, but a lot of women, I'm gonna tell you, no.
Yeah.
We don't want it all night long, contrary to popular music and nomenclature.
People have jobs.
Some of us had to work in the morning.
Yeah.
And then 20 to 30% of men report premature ejaculatory response. So it's pretty common, but pretty common.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So who's faking it? We're ready for that one?
I'm ready for it. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So who's faking it? So we have 67% of women have admitted to occasionally faking it. And again, this is penile to vaginal intercourse. This does decrease with oral and or clitoral stimulation. And within that, 25%, I found this number interesting, 25% of women fake it through vocalizations. I would have thought that number would be much higher.
Much
I
higher.
feel like that's how most people tried to fake it.
Yeah.
And I had an interesting conversation with a guy friend of mine the other night, and he was like, oh yeah, I can totally tell when a woman's faking it. Which, by the way, 66% of men think that they can tell when their partner is faking it, and 25% of women believe that their partners know when they're faking it. So I really don't think men know as often as they think that they do.
Yeah.
Because...
But man, I bet you I've heard whatever he said about how he knows.
How do you think he said it?
The clenching.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Because I actually said this before he said that. I said, yeah, because women can fake the vocal, they can fake the sound, but they can also fake their bodies. It's called Kegels. Kegel muscles, guys. And we clench them and we let them go, and we know how our body ripples. Yeah. And we can simulate that. Yeah. Very easily. Very, very easily. So guess what? And so I guess with 25% of vocalization, I'm going to guess that the other percent of the women...
It's got to be, right?
I mean, yeah.
I don't really... If you have other ways, please let us know, because just out of curiosity. But also, I don't want to bash your friend's dreams.
I did. I have no problem bashing his dreams.
See, I'll bash my friend's dreams, but I'm trying to be respectful of other people.
Yeah.
So.
No, I totally was like, oh yeah. And he was like, really? And I was like, I laughed. I'm sorry. I'm a biatch. I totally laughed and was like, yeah. Of course we can simulate that. We know how.
We're all witches. I mean, come on. Everybody knows this.
Salem witch trials are out to get us. So anyway, interestingly, so that's women. 67% of women fake it. 28% of men occasionally fork. They fork you.
All right. Woo! Jen had a Dr. Pepper today.
Dr. Pepper's kicking in. But I didn't have 2 or 3 this time, so I'm good.
That's good.
Anyway, 28% of men occasionally fake an orgasm. I'm trying to do it again. And one study found that nearly 30% of college males report faking orgasms. So that's pretty in line. Most of the studies that we found were somewhere between 28 to 30% of men occasionally fake orgasms.
Again, like men thinking that other men aren't faking. I'm like, yes, they are. Yeah. Like, y'all just aren't talking. Y'all only, not y'all. Sorry. The conversation tends to go one way, and if you don't allow it to be honest, then of course all you're going to think is everyone's just banging happily. And
yeah. So people fake orgasms. It happens.
Men fake orgasms.
And we're gonna stop right there, because I really want to go into, there's another piece of this where it's by sexual orientation. We're gonna come back with that because we're gonna dive into that a little bit more.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about who's faking it by sexual orientation. So y'all stay tuned. It's really interesting to me.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen on Edge Radio TV. We have been talking about orgasms and more specifically faking orgasms and who's faking orgasms. So we talked about, 67% of women are faking, 28 to 30, about the 30% of men fake it once in a while, but by orientation. And I found these numbers to be interesting. And we're going to be honest, like these numbers, once they pop up, it's a survey of 2,000 people. So, these numbers may not be completely accurate, but it's very interesting anyway. So the same numbers exist. 68% of women that are straight say yes. 25% of men that are straight say yes, they faked it. Bisexuality, 67% of women that are bisexual have faked it. And 34% of bisexual men have faked it. And then here's where we see the numbers drop for women. 59% of gay and lesbian women say that they fake it. So it goes from 68 all the way down to 59, so almost a 10% decrease. And then 48% of gay men say that they fake it. So I think it's easy enough to understand like why gay women, why that number drops, right? We've talked about clitoral stimulation. Why do you think gay men have a higher rate of saying that they fake it?
The expectation, the possible group setting, and any substances that might be involved. Like, we don't know where these numbers are coming from.
True. Yeah. That was kind of my guess, too, because I was thinking about it as,
thing,
that idea that I went more along the lines, I'll be honest, of, like, male ego aspect and men understanding that other men need to feel like they've done a good job kind of thing. So that's kind of where I thought it was, because I found that number very fascinating. Again, there's
just other factors that could be. I mean, but we don't know, because we don't know where they're getting the data from.
True. Very true. Yeah. No, I thought it could have been pretty accurate. I'd love to know if you are a gay male and feels comfortable enough. I'd love to know if you've ever faked it. I
want to know under what circumstance.
Yeah. I do too. So message us on Sex on the Edge on Instagram or Facebook, and we're not going to give your identity away or anything like that. It's just for our own nosy research purposes. I'm
just curious. Yeah,
I'm very, very curious. Anywho, so anything else about who's faking it? Are there numbers that we've missed? Any people that we've missed? Okay, so why are we faking it, Hendrix?
Why? Oh, right. Why are women faking it? There's a lot of reasons. I mean, I think once we read the reasons, people are like, like, I get that.
Yeah.
You want your partner to feel more successful.
Yeah.
Did they find successful in that piece?
I don't recall if they defined successful. I think it's in another article where they said they wanted to satisfy their partner, and I think those go hand in hand. So this information comes from a couple of different articles. Yeah. So we're not going to link them because we read a bunch.
Yeah. Wanting sex to end.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's probably one of the main reasons. In all honesty, if it's going too long,
it's what we hear all the time.
Yeah. That's the reason I hear more than anything else. Yeah. Is I just want them to know that it's over, and I didn't want my partner to feel bad. I wanted them to feel like I enjoyed it and it was a good time for them.
Yeah. I'm wondering if to keep your partner. So some of the data was saying like to keep your partner. And I'm wondering if that means, and I'm assuming just from what we do, but like your relationship's already on the fritz and you don't want one more problem. So you kind of tend to ignore it to like keep the status quo of the relationship.
Right.
And it's like, on those make me feel terrible. It's like, man, then your relationship already sucks. And then now the sex sucks. And then now we're not talking at all. And who knows how long you're going to be in that relationship.
Yeah. One thing that I did find interesting, and I think you and I both were like, oh, women that reject feminism fake orgasms more often.
That was an interesting stat.
That was really, really interesting to me.
I would guess they mean who reject, maybe a traditional woman who would reject feminism altogether.
Right.
So like the ideal would be to, you know, at all costs please the man, at all costs,
Right.
Make sure your man feels important and strong and
Yeah.
all those things.
Yeah.
And then if you don't believe in equal rights, I mean, then you might not even know you have a choice
Right.
to say no
True.
or to
True.
not have to do these things.
Yeah. And because, but that's because that directly leads into why women, if they go from faking it, all of a sudden not all of a sudden, but they make the decision, you know what, I'm going to stop faking it. The reason why they stop faking it is because they're reporting that they feel more comfortable with sex and whether or not an orgasm has occurred. So they're feeling more comfortable communicating with their partner. They're talking to their partner. They feel more confident in themselves, and they feel like their partner accepts them and is happy with them, even if they didn't have an orgasm.
The pressure is lifted.
Yeah, the pressure is lifted, and so you're gonna have more honest feedback with that.
Yeah.
Why men fake it?
Again, it's if they feel like they're taking too long. So then that means that heterosexual men and women know inherently somewhere that it's taking too long, but they're not communicating.
Right.
So
Exactly.
why aren't we communicating? I realize it's our job. We wouldn't have a job, but
yeah. I mean, we will definitely have a whole episode on how to communicate about sex more effectively, because that's where things start. It starts with the communication, and people just aren't as comfortable or confident communicating about sex in general.
for sure.
They do it to conceal premature ejaculation. So if they've already come, and then they try and keep going for a little bit longer until they recognize, okay, now it's too soft to keep going.
Yeah.
To preserve his own pride, to please his partner, abide by the rules, which we talked about for women as well. And the rules state that, and air quotes around rules, that you're supposed to have an orgasm at the end of sex. To get things over with as well. And that goes to taking too long. And then if it's not satisfying or arousing. And then you mentioned, whenever we talked about with gay men, but this is also for heterosexual men, being drunk or on drugs, that plays a role. We've all heard of whiskey dick.
Yeah, no, but that's like all genders.
Right.
all genders are affected
sure.
by drugs, drinking, stress.
Yes, stress. All of those things definitely play a massive role. So that's why people are faking it. I've also known men who have faked it when their partners, they're trying to have a baby and they don't actually want a baby, and they fake the orgasm. So that's just manipulative and sad. Don't do that. Anywho, anything else on that, or are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you guys, let's grab our headphones.
Yeah.
So play along with us. Like I said, we are about to do real or fake.
My her.
Your her.
Woohoo! We need to get Hendrix hair appropriate headphones. That was a long ass way to say that.
So get some AirPods. All right. So play along with this. As we go through them, I want you to write 1 fake or real, 2 fake or real, but we're going to go one at a time, and we're going to guess at the end of each one. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1. Oh, I don't know. I think that one was fake.
I don't know. That was a little long, drawn out. I'll go with real.
Okay. Let's find out.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, number 2. Okay, I definitely think that one's real.
I'd go with real, or like a really good porn star who knows how to do a real fake.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go with real.
Really good.
Yeah,
I think it's real. Let's find out. Yay! All right, number 3.
Well. I'm gonna go fake.
I think so too. You know, it's interesting so far. We'll find out if this one's fake. But if it is, the real ones had that slower build up, and the fake ones seem to go into it a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because you're trying to get it over with.
Right. All right, so is that one real or fake? Yes! Jen 3, Hendrix 2. Number 4.
There's a little bit of yeehaw action in that one. I don't know. I'm torn.
I don't know.
Real? Fake?
I don't know. You pick one. I kind of think it's fake, but I think because it's fake, I'm gonna go real. Logic on that one.
Okay, you're good. I'll go real for the yeehawness. I don't know.
So we're both saying real. Yeah. Okay. Oh no! Dun dun dun. I was wrong. All right, and I think this is the last one, number 5. Okay. Man, you can hear them. Yeah. Get it, girl. That's real.
Yeah, that sounds like some good amateur porn for sure. Yeah, that's real.
I think I might be blushing a little bit on that one.
Yeah, that was visceral.
Yeah. Woo. What's? Yes.
Yeah, I mean that one was definitely real.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh.
Was that the last one?
Yeah, I think we did a good job. Like
we
wow.
did.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Oh, I'm still. That last one was hard.
How much time we got left?
We got 2 minutes left on this segment.
All right.
And then we'll be able to come back. You know, okay, so we do have to give a quick shout out just because we're talking about reals and fakes. Like the queen of fake orgasm, Meg Ryan, our goddess on When Harry Met Sally. Everybody wants what she's having.
Good old Cat's Deli in New York.
Yes, yeah. I just had to. And Rob Reiner's mom, like, gotta love mama. Anyway, just wanted to shout out to baking it. And when we come back, we're gonna take a break now. When we come back, we're gonna talk about, like, is it ever okay to fake an orgasm? And then we'll wrap up the show. So stay tuned. We hope you loved it so far, and we hope that you aced our real or fake exam. Come back in just a few minutes for Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay.
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Edge Radio TV is holding auditions for new show hosts. Are you a subject matter expert, professional, influencer, book author, thought leader, or business owner with an educational or motivational platform? Then we want to meet you. Send a link of some of your work to edgeradio20@gmail.com and be sure to put audition in the subject line. Join the Edge Radio TV family. Edge TV, because truth still matters.
Hey guys, this is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen for Edge Radio TV. Today we're talking about orgasms, and we just both smoked a cigarette after listening.
Oh, man. That last one,
our fake or real segment.
Definitely needed something. I haven't smoked in years, but a cigarette.
We might start
sounded
smoking again.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Or food.
A shot. Tequila.
Yeah. So a shout out, by the way, I do know we sent the website to the producer that at least several of those came from. There is an orgasm sound library that you can find online.
We found this by doing research for this, and
Yeah.
we're in love with this idea.
Yeah, and if you want to, you can actually upload your orgasm to it. No, it's anonymous.
Yeah.
They will not know, whoever listens to your orgasm, that it is you. So if you're a little bit into that, 'cause
A
it's
nice
not,
way
it's
to-
not visual either.
I didn't think about this. Nice way for exhibitionists during COVID.
Exactly. It's kind of what I was just thinking. It's a good way to play into that exhibitionism, as well, and maybe even in a non-illegal way. 'Cause,
Yeah.
don't run down Westheimer jacking off your dick hanging out.
It's just a Tuesday in Houston.
That's true, but whatever. Anyway, so the Orgasm Sound Library, very cool website. Or if you want, when we talk about if you're visual or auditory, I'll be straight up honest, maybe TMI, but I'm an auditory person. And even when it comes to porn, I prefer to watch lesbian porn because I'm not really watching it. I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
And lesbian porn sounds way more real to me, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny because it goes into the numbers that they're faking it less often.
Yeah, I was hesitant to want to listen to it because when I'm stressed, I don't like to hear high pitched. And I've been very honest since after the storm. I'm stressed. It's totally fine to admit that. It's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So I was worried that the high pitchedness was going to just set me off because I
you.
don't like
Yeah.
high pitched screaming. But those were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those weren't bad.
We hope you enjoyed them. If
thought
you
it-
needed to take a break away from the show and go take care of yourself, or you and your partner take care of yourselves, we totally get it. So is faking it ever okay?
That is the golden question.
It is the golden question.
Is it ever
Is
okay?
it ever okay?
What do you think?
There's a lot of research out there there's different articles that will say this isn't true. There's some articles that will say that it is okay if you are on the cusp of an orgasm. Because there is some research to indicate that if you are on the cusp of having an orgasm, when you start to fake it, when you start to clench your muscles
Yeah.
and vocalize, that your brain, it tricks your brain into actually making it. so it can create an orgasm there.
The fake it till you make it.
The fake it till you make it. Now, so if you're on the cusp of an orgasm and you just need that extra push, you can fake it and hopefully see if that does actually lend itself into having a real. This is how you have an orgasm, apparently. Can lend itself into having an orgasm. I would definitely say do not fake it if you are in pain. Do not fake it if you are not enjoying yourself at all.
Oh my gosh.
Stop the sexual experience if either of those things are happening, and don't fake it if you want to continue to give inaccurate feedback to your partner.
So there's the argument that, well, if it's a one-night stand and you're just trying to get it over with, sure, but some people end up dating.
Yeah.
And then you have to perpetuate this, or you don't have to, but you will feel as though you have to perpetuate this lie for years. Because we've had couples come in and be like, well, I thought she's been orgasming this whole time.
Yep. Yeah.
And she's like, I haven't been. And I'm like, that's kind of devastating to find out. Like, you need to know. You absolutely need to know. So take the, however heartbreaking it may be, put your ego down. But
yeah. So if you do decide to fake it with somebody that you've been with for a long time, again, I would maybe have that as part of your communication. I'm only going to fake it if I'm actually really enjoying it and I'm super close and I'm trying to create a real one. Yeah. So I might fake it in that instance, sweetheart. But so if I am faking it, it's because I am enjoying it. Yeah. I am having fun. It does feel good what you are doing. You are hitting a good spot. And my body just isn't relaxed enough to have an orgasm, so I'm trying to give it that extra push. Otherwise, so that way, hopefully that might let them know, like, I'm not going to give you inaccurate information. I am still receiving pleasure from whatever you're doing down there.
True.
Yeah. So anything else to say? Anything else on faking orgasms that you can think of that we think our audience members should know?
I mean, we are programmed by our own biology and just evolution that two heterosexual people have sex, you're more likely to reproduce by orgasming. So it's not that people are dumb or that we're crazy for wanting to orgasm, having this expectation. It is coming from somewhere from this. It is coming somewhere from this, we've carried this down for millennia with us.
Yeah.
So it's not that people are dumb for thinking this. It's not that people, crazy. It's just we're ingrained to believe this, and now it's taken on a life of its own. But I mean, we're different now. We're evolved. We have more information, and there's biological, social factors, psychological factors that we need to be aware of.
Yeah, I mean, even social factors.
Yeah,
like
it's
we've talked about media
sex is
and
very
how
social.
I mean,
influenced by not social. Influenced by social.
Yeah, definitely.
Factors.
So there is that aspect, and so when it comes to orgasming and keeping in mind, we've talked about this, and we're going to beat a dead horse. Talk to your partner about what helps them to orgasm. Have that communication. The vast majority of women orgasm through clitoral stimulation. So your penis is really not doing a whole hell of a lot of good for those women unless you are in a position where you are stimulating the clitoris as well, which the only function of that is orgasm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they've ever found any other function for the clitoris.
Yeah, there doesn't need to be. No. Yeah. But I mean, also putting the pressure on, oh my gosh, well now this person doesn't like my dick. It's like, that's not it. There's still pleasure. You can still derive pleasure from intercourse.
Definitely. And you can still get a toy, use your fingers and stimulate the clitoris while there's penile penetration. Yeah. Penile penetration? Yeah, penile penetration or digital penetration or tongue penetration or toy penetration. There's so many penetrations. I just want to keep saying penetration. So there again, conversations.
I would like to add that it's not just men who come into my office who are offended by the toy of bringing into sex. It is women as well. They have the same stereotype. I'll be like, well, if you both know that she orgasms through clitoral stimulation, why don't we bring in the toy? And they're like, oh my god, it's so embarrassing. Yeah. Or he'll be like, she doesn't need anything else but me, and it just needs to be me. And then she'll be like, of course. And I'm just like, what? Oh gosh.
No, guys, that's a lot of pressure to put on.
You do you, boo.
Yeah, know your body. Know what works for you. And man, your tongue and your finger just aren't going to go as fast as a toy sometimes, most of the time. So it's okay. There's nothing wrong with needing a toy. There's nothing wrong with needing lube.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
We got the driving home the lube thing
Gotta
is
nip that myth in the bud as well. Anyway, I think that's about. There was something that popped into my head a second ago, and now I can't remember what it was, but it was really poignant, and I'm sure it'll come up on another show at some point.
I'm sure.
Oh, I remember what it was. There we go. Speaking of cum, another fun fact and so this might make the faking it a little bit more difficult, is that men don't always come when they orgasm.
Oh,
It is entirely possible for men to have an orgasm without any ejaculation.
I believe it's called like a dry orgasm.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. So that is something that is really, really interesting to note. So if there isn't any semen or ejaculate, that doesn't necessarily mean that the orgasm was faked.
Yeah, sure.
So that's it. I mean, statistically, they are more tied closely together for men than it is for women. Obviously, women, maybe not obviously. We'll talk about female ejaculate at some point, I'm sure. Women do not ejaculate as much as men do, or as frequently. But yeah. So, and you can ejaculate without an orgasm. That's the other.
Oh, yeah.
So, do we?
Sorry for that noise.
Do we have time for any bad sex advice, or how much time do we have left? 5 minutes? Do you wanna run a couple?
5 minutes? Sure. But before we're pulling it up, have you ever had any bad sex advice about orgasming?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep doing it till they reach orgasm. I mean, that's like the worst advice you can give somebody about an orgasm.
Just keep doing it until they reach orgasm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna make me throw up in my mouth. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably the most common one I hear about it. Though.
Yeah, we're bringing back some bad sex advice. We found some.
Yeah. What'd you find?
We want to go nasty with this? I'll go nasty with it. Let's do it.
I haven't heard these. This is what's fun about this segment.
I mean, we went nasty with the orgasm, so let's go nasty with our sex advice.
It was wet. Y'all, it was wet.
All right, are we ready?
Sorry.
You ready for this?
No.
Okay.
I went back to that orgasm.
Just go to your happy place, Jen. Go to your happy place. Okay.
Noises turn me
Once
on
someone told this person to pee inside the girl after you finish, but before you pull out, so you don't have to use a condom, the ammonia in your urine will neutralize the sperm.
No! Do not pee inside your partner. Period.
Unless they specifically ask for it.
No, there's bacteria and all. I mean, there is a little bit of urine that is in the ejaculate. So yes, like don't come at me with the like, but there's urine in the ejaculate, Jen. I know.
We know, yeah.
Okay, but not to that level. No, do not, and don't urinate in the butt either.
Yeah.
Like, just don't defecate in either hole either. Like, I don't know how you would defecate from anus to anus, but it's possible, I suppose. Don't do that either. But yeah, no, keep that bacteria as much out of there as possible. Our vaginas are fickle enough. They are fickle little bitches.
I mean, could you? I can't imagine it, or I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah. And if you want to wait weeks before having sex again because you've given her a UTI, that's on you, dude.
Right? I mean, feel free to pee happily on one another consensually.
Yeah,
you know, like
definitely.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You do you, boo.
Yeah.
But not in any holes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't drink it. So not in the eyes, not in the ears, not in the nose, not in the mouth, not in the vagina. Maybe the belly button. That's like the only hole that I would say.
I mean, I have seen
in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's still recommended that you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to like you can drink somebody else's pee once and be safe, but more than supposedly.
Man, we really spiraled with this one.
One more.
One more. Uno más. If you sleep with more than 5 guys, you're going to wake up one morning when you're 35 and hate yourself. I don't hate myself.
I don't hate myself either. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
I'm 38 and I still don't hate myself for that.
My gosh.
Yeah, no. Golly. It's fine and all if you want to put your morals and your values. I would prefer that you only sleep with somebody that you love or your future husband or wife, your spouse. But Yeah, no.
It's not a you're going to hate yourself
No.
if you go over this number. You can be
Yeah.
mighty proud of yourself for all of the things that you have done sexually and have no shame at all.
I spit water all over myself a little bit on that one. Ooh, I took a drink at the wrong time. I knew better too. That was just dumb, Jen. Anyway, thank you for that bad sex advice. Last thing, of course, sex position of the week. So let's shake this baby up and see what it comes up with. And boom. It is. Come on. Where's it? There it is. I think it's called twinning. Is that what it's called? Twining, like twine, like you're intertwined.
Oh, okay.
So this one, the woman lays on her back, and again, we can turn these into not just man, woman.
That seems super complicated.
While the man is on the top, stretched out. It's just one leg up.
Oh, I'm looking at it from over here, and it's okay. I see where it is.
So while thrusting, the woman places one of her legs around her lover to grip the man closer, puts the heel on the butt. I mean,
okay, that makes more. Yeah.
So you get some deeper penetration on that. So that's exciting for some deep moves. Anyway, so we hope you had fun with us today.
I had
a blast.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
I was feeling tired when I walked in, and now I am energized.
You are energized and ready to fake it till you make it through the rest of the day.
Woo!
So to follow us on Sex on the Edge on Instagram and Facebook,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Our lovely social media posts are typically done by Hendrix because she's amazing. And in order to get a session with one of us, go to www.houstonrelationshiptherapy.com or call the main line at 1-800-913-9613.
Oh, yeah, we love our office managers.
Yeah,
talk to them. They're delightful.
Yes. Taylor, shout out to Taylor and Andrea. One of those two ladies will get you set up with us. They are amazeballs.
Yeah, delightful.
And I'm sure they love that I just said that they're amazeballs. So, yeah. And that's the end of our show.
That's the end of our show. Yeah.
Happy humping.
Happy humping, y'all.
Happy humping.